Barely sat down and chips and pretty much get all me salama Papino, soldier, soldier.
Hey, hey, what are you doing? Calm down, it's okay. What happened to your leg? Oh no, yeah. I come home early and you're hurt. I got these for Mommy, but maybe I should give them to you. Ooh, they smell good. Come on, little lady. Don't get upset. Come on, your daddy's here. Let's put these over here for Mom. Sit down. Sit up here, up high, where I can get to you. Let's take a look at that. Ooh, that's nasty. That hurts. Well, let me take a look at it. Okay. We'll just try to calm down here. I had some tissues for you, but I don't know what I did with them now. Here, use this old dish towel. Here, dry your face. That's right. Dry your eyes. There, let me wipe them tears away. Now let's get this wash rag here. Some water. Let's get that cleaned off. Ooh, that looks like that hurts. What happened? Little boys will do that. Well, you can't hate all little boys, because if you hate all little boys, then you gotta hate your daddy, and you don't hate your daddy, do you? No. It's okay. I understand. Little boys like to pick on little girls, but when they get older, they grow out of it. And hopefully they'll stop doing that when you get a little older. They might even open a door for you. Oh, I know. Don't be upset. I know. I come home early. I brought you a present and everything. But you gotta quit crying. Here, let's wipe those tears. There you go. I know. Daddy's little girl all upset. But I know what it's like. When I was a little boy, I was in 4th grade. There was a little girl and she had on a little dress, like a little, I don't know, kind of like clothes you have on right now, like a little corduroy skirt and white knee socks and saddle shoes. I remember the saddle shoes because all the girls wore them back then. And we were playing, and it had just rained, and we were running around in the playground. And I was like, playing Frankenstein, chasing this girl. And her and another girl were running, and they slipped in the mud, from me chasing them. And the girl fell and got mud all over her brand new outfit. And I felt so bad. And she didn't even look back. She just got up and she went right into school and went home for the day, right after recess, to get cleaned up. And I felt so guilty. And I bet that little boy that pushed you down and hurt your knee, I bet he feels really bad right now. He might even be at home crying right now to his mom. Because I know I felt bad when I went home. Because nobody wants to hurt anybody. Nobody that's a good person. And almost everybody's good at heart. There's only a few bad apples, honey. And some people think they're doing good even when they're doing wrong. They think it's for the better of their country or for their family. But really they're hurting someone. So you're old enough to know and learn about this. So I might as well talk to you about it now. Yeah. It'll help get your mind off what's going on. Okay, let's get those tears dried. Okay, now, I got the green stuff. 70% alcohol. Well, Daddy was in the war, you know, and you gotta use the good stuff, honey. You gotta clean out that wound, or it's gonna get infected. Come on. It'll be all right. I'll tell you what, I promise. I got you a gift, and I'll tell you a story. If you're a good girl, let me do this. Come on. It won't hurt that bad. Okay. Let's get that cleaned up. Okay. So anyway, let's get that cleaned up. Alright. Here we go. I know it stings a little bit. I know. Don't worry. It'll be over soon. There you go. Okay. Don't be frustrated. Well, the story I'm going to tell you, it ties in with the toy I got you. Now I'm going to get a little first aid cream and we'll put it on with this Q-tip. I don't want to use my finger. Okay, we'll just squirt a little bit on here. Put the cap back on. Alright, I'm just going to put this on your knee. So anyway, I got you a doll. Yep. Ooh, let's get a little more of that. Okay, just a little more. Oh, that hurts, doesn't it? I know. I know. He didn't mean it. You know, I bet in a couple days you and him are going to be best friends playing again. Oh, the little girl I pushed down. Well, I never really apologized, but later in school, when we were a little older, we made up. But that's another story. But I always felt bad about that. And I bet that little boy feels bad too. There. Now, does that feel better? Yeah, that's right. Boy, oh boy, I don't know how many Band-Aids it's going to take. Got these Band-Aids here. Let's put one on. Oh, it's not. It's going to take more than one. Let's see. I know. Mom will be home soon. That's what you want. You want your mom here, huh? Well, Daddy's going to get a gold star for being the big hero. Huh. I'll get to your toy. Let's get that cut covered up first. Jeez, I think I'm going to have to put 3 on there. Okay, here's the next one. There you go. Okay, one more. Did you tell on him? You shouldn't tell. Unless he meant it. If it was an accident, he said it was an accident, you could give him a break. And then he'll like you even more. Now, if you did it on purpose, little boys aren't supposed to hurt little girls. So you should tell your teacher then. That's right. Okay. 3 Band-Aids. 3 Band-Aids. That was a bad one. Yeah. Okay. Well, let me get you your toy. Now, this is a special toy because Daddy's going to go away. Okay? Get my tie off. And I'm not going to be here for a few days. But Uncle Melvin's going to come and check on you guys. Okay? And Aunt Sissy. All right, because he's not going with me. Uncle Melvin and I found this doll in Europe. She is gorgeous. Now close your eyes and I'll give her to you. Okay? Here she is. Okay, open your eyes. Oh, now, what kind of reaction is that? She's gorgeous. Don't make her sad. Oh, come on. You're going to make her feel bad. That's not a good way to start a relationship. Her name is Little Miss No Name. That's right. You get to name her. She's really called Little Miss No Name. And she's a sad little beggar doll. Yeah, see? She has her little hand out. And her little hollow eyes. She's all alone in the world. She needs a friend like you. Do you think you can take care of her while I'm gone? How about you, Little Miss No Name? Can you take care of my little girl? Okay. Yeah. She says she'd like to stay, be your best friend. Would you like to be best friends? Yeah. She does. She wants to stay. And she's a special little doll. That's right. She came all the way from Europe. That's right. We found her in northern France. She wants a little shake hands. Do you want to shake hands with Little Miss No Name? There you go. There. Well, you two are going to be the best of friends. And she is so special. She's like a guard dog. She's a guard doll. And that's the story I'm going to tell you. Little Miss No Name is what we call an automaton. Remember the story I told you about the golem made out of clay that protected all of the Jewish people in that ghetto in Eastern Europe many, many years ago? Well, Little Miss No Name's like that. She's a protective little doll. And if anybody tries to come here to bother you, like that time that man tried to kidnap you after our barbecue, you and Mommy, Little Miss No Name will stop them. That's right. See? I have her sworn promise. She's going to protect you. Nothing on this whole planet can bother you as long as Little Miss No Name is here. That's right. Yeah, she's a wonderful little girl. And she loves little girls and never gets to spend time with them. She's always off doing something that makes her sad and lonely. And really, she just wants a friend. And she wants to be your friend while Daddy's gone. Is that okay? Okay. Is that okay with you, Little Miss No Name? Okay. Yeah. All right. Oh, yeah. Yeah. Can she sleep in bed with you? That way she can keep an eye on you? There you go. Well, here you go. Here, honey. Here. Oh, yeah. You two are so gorgeous together. She is sweet, isn't she? She does have the prettiest hair. Yeah. Well, you know what a robot is like in the sci-fi movies? Little Miss No Name is what we call an automaton. She's not really a robot. She's a creature that can move and come to life under certain circumstances. But she's not really alive, and she's not really a mechanical creature. She's been brought together through magic. That's right. And you know what Daddy told you about magic. Most magic is fake, but there is some real magic out there. And that's the story I'm going to tell you about another automaton. Now, you remember the one I told you about, the great Jewish golem who protected everyone. Now, he was made out of clay, and Little Miss No Name is made out of synthetic plastics. That's right. And she was given life by a very kind woman who wanted something out there to protect little girls in need. And that's where Little Miss No Name comes from. That's right. Okay. Now, there was a little boy version of Little Miss No Name. And his name was Pinocchio. The little boy who had a wood body, and his nose would grow if he told a lie. Now, he was made out of wood, and he was given life by a very, very strange magician named Geppetto. Now, Geppetto was lonely and wanted companionship, and he wanted a son to carry on his family business. So he turned Pinocchio into kind of a real boy. He looked very real. And he could grow, because wood can grow like a tree. And Pinocchio could grow older and become a grown man. He wasn't going to be a boy forever. No. But all of Pinocchio's life, he still felt different. That's right. He didn't feel like a real boy because he didn't have a soul. And as the years went on, he became more and more angry until he hated almost all of human life. And Pinocchio was about your daddy's age when World War II started. And he wanted to fight for his country just like your daddy wanted to fight for our country. Now, he lived in Italy, and he went to work for a man named Benito Mussolini. They called him Il Duce. And Pinocchio distinguished himself. Those wrappers from your Band-Aids. Pinocchio distinguished himself as a very violent and angry spy and combatant. And he would hunt men down. He was actually very mean, nasty. He was always out trying to catch other spies. He was vicious, cold-hearted, because he had no soul. And when he would capture a man, he would come up to them, and he would try to suck out the life from them, take their soul out from inside their mind, inside their head, through their little glands that are inside their head, right here in the back. And he would try to eat them and destroy them and swallow their souls. I know this isn't the fairy tale you're used to from Disney and Mr. Walt Disney's cartoon, but Pinocchio was very, very evil and nasty. And he took many men's souls inside him, but he was never, ever satiated. His thirsts were never appeased. Every time he did this and took a soul from an innocent man, it made him want more souls and more souls, until every day, every hour of his life, he was condemned to go forward, wanting to get more and more and more souls to swallow, to put inside him, to make him feel human, something that he just couldn't cope with. He couldn't let it go, and men were evil in his eyes. And one day, we came across a gentle little doll named Little Miss No Name, and she whispered in my ear, and she told me about Pinocchio, and that he was nearby in a village very close to where your Uncle Melvin and I were deployed. So we decided to take a jeep and go to that village and see if we could find Pinocchio. By the time we got there, far, far up in the mountains north of Rome, Italy, we came across Pinocchio. And it was right at the midst of the front line between Nazi Germany and the Italian forces that were still fighting with them in the United States. We implored the Pinocchio to surrender for justice and out of humanity, but he would have none of that. Even though Italy was falling into the hands of the Allies, and the King of Italy was pushing Benito Mussolini out of power, the hatred that was allowed to fester in Pinocchio was at its peak, and he was going to fight until the death. Until the death, he would fight, and his anger and his hunger was so voracious that he killed right in front of us one of his own soldiers, a German corporal, and he stole his soul right before our own eyes. And we saw him devour this man's soul and his mind and throw the lifeless husk down before us. We knew we were outmatched, except two men could never defeat Pinocchio, but two men and a radio could. While your Uncle Melvin distracted Pinocchio, I called in an artillery strike, and our soldiers lobbed huge artillery shells from far, far away into this little village and rendered tanks and jeeps and vehicles and houses asunder. Like a box of matches, it was scattered across the ground. Whole families were destroyed in our attempt to stop these men working with Pinocchio. And soon there came a moment where your Uncle Melvin was in the grasp of Pinocchio. All of your daddy's efforts had failed, and you could see that he was maniacally clawing and creeping ever closer to killing your Uncle Melvin and stealing his soul and robbing his mind of all of its life, when suddenly, out from the distance, a screaming shell whipped right by my head, right in front of me, like a bullet shot from God, and cut Pinocchio's head free from his wooden body. His body spasmed on the ground and rolled and tumbled and convulsed in half-life, grasping for his head, grasping, clinging to where his head was. No blood, no nothing, gone, his head gone, his head completely splintered into a million pieces across the battlefield, and shell after shell lobbed in like the hand of God coming down to destroy Pinocchio, to wipe his evil presence away from this wonderful land, this land possessed by the evil of Nazi Germany and fascism and demonic creatures like Pinocchio. And soon, in the smoke and confusion of battle, as I pulled your Uncle Melvin to safety inside a foxhole, Pinocchio's whirling, seething, convulsing body clawed its way into the fields and escaped. We were lucky to escape with our lives, and the headless body of Pinocchio was also lucky to escape intact. Now, because of our actions, the troops behind us, far behind, came forward, and we started a new defensive line. This defensive line helped end the war even sooner, and many, many people's lives were spared, even though in the short term many people were killed in the interim on both sides. We were decorated for this, and we thought that everything was over with, that Pinocchio was no longer a threat to anyone in Italy. But we were wrong. One night, as the sun was going down over the mountains of the southern Alps, there was a scream out on the playfield. A field was set up where men could play some recreational sport, and they had hung peach baskets, honey, on poles so that they could play basketball with one of the balls that was sent in a care package from the Red Cross. A single basketball was more valuable to those men in the field than 1,000 Band-Aids. It made them feel like they were at home. And one of the men, practicing by himself, was lying dead on the practice field. As we approached, we quickly realized that his head had been cracked open, and that the evil that was Pinocchio still existed. The man's head was rendered and his soul stolen, and with his soul, Pinocchio took the magic that is inside every human, used it to take the basketball and place it on the stump where his head used to be, and he animated this basketball much in the same way his automaton body was animated wood. Now this basketball was his animated mind, his eyes, his mouth to the world, and he was once again complete. This strange creature escaped far, far into northern Italy and made his way back to Nazi Germany to continue the war. And the basketball-headed demon, yes, the basketball-headed demon that you know lurks in the United States now, came from Italy, and it is the spawn of the great and evil and horrible creature, Pinocchio. And your daddy and your Uncle Melvin have been searching for Pinocchio, the basketball-headed demon, for many, many years. And hopefully soon we will bring him to his final rest and final justice and final conviction. And he will be punished, I promise you. But in the meantime, little Miss No Name will protect you. She will keep you from harm's way, and she will make you alert if Pinocchio is nearby. So keep her close, right? That's right, you hold on to her and you keep her close. And little Miss No Name will never let him get to you. And you can sleep every night restful, knowing that little Miss No Name is keeping you safe while Daddy's away. Okay? I know that's a scary fairy tale, but like we did in the past, we all know the Grimm fairy tales were even worse. At least no little children were killed by Pinocchio. This time. Ooh. Now listen, Mommy will be home soon. We're going to have dinner. Why don't you go watch a little TV and see if Deputy Dog or Yogi Bear's on? And Daddy will go fix himself another drink. And I'll help Mommy with the groceries. And we'll have a nice little dinner. Okay? You can bring little Miss No Name. She can come to dinner too. Okay. All right, well, you know Daddy loves you. Now come here. Don't be scared. I'll be home soon. And I'll bring you another present, I promise. No, it won't be a doll. All right, we'll go have some fun. Bye-bye, honey.